Dear traders, I continue on the next day after I have run the reactor for the pound Aussie and for the euro pound. You can see here that totally 74,521 strategies were generated. With the euro pound, they were actually above 100,000, and from these 74,521, 906 passed the validation, so this is the acceptance criteria where we have set. And from these 906 you can see that 250 passed the validation of Monte Carlo, and in the collection I see the top 100. So there are 250, but I see the top 100. So let me just click on the first strategy to show you what exactly is the Monte Carlo test that I have mentioned a couple of times. So after the strategy is generated, it goes automatically to Monte Carlo. And Monte Carlo, one more time guys, this is a simulator which tries to break the strategy. And if I click start, you will see that here are the calculated tests, progress, and how many of those were validated. So if you remember, I have set 20 tests and I wanted 80% of those to be profitable. You can see with this first strategy that all of the tests actually are profitable, and here are the different simulations you can set up. So the first one are the market variations, randomized history data, the randomized spread. So this is very good because the spread normally with the brokers, as we said, it's floating. So here one of the simulations is with different spread and with different history data, and you can see some more positive, some more negative results, but still profitable results. If you have execution problems with your broker here as well, you can choose to use these sticks and strategy variations. So here you can test the strategy with different parameters. And when I click on the collection again, what I will do, I will filter now these 100 strategies with these filter records over here. If I select use performance filters, you will see here will come another menu from where I can add filters. Okay, and you see there are many options. Let me just go down a little bit. So here what I do, for example, if I choose minimum profit factor and I have 1, you will see that 100 of the 100 strategy passed the validation. Okay, now if I increase it to 1.1, you will see that 72 of these 100 passed the validation. Simply here with this filter, we are limiting the number, and by using different filters, we will leave the top strategies out of the 100. Now I see 100 because 100 are into the collection, but you see that only 23 out of the 100 passed the validation from the filters. Okay, and if I click this button, I will remove all the 77 rest strategies. Now let me just add another filter. So profit factor is a very good filter, and another good filter that I would like to use is the maximum consecutive losses. And now you can see that with 10 maximum consecutive losses, still 23 strategies are available. So I will reduce 9 and I will go to 8, 22. So they are going down, and let's go to 5. So you see only 6 out of the 100 strategies now are left, only these 6 strategies. So this means that these 6 strategies are having better profit factor than 1.3, and they don't have more than 5 consecutive losses. Now the other thing here, I can add more filters, but what I prefer to do when I have a couple of strategies left is just to look at their profit line. Okay, what I see with the first strategy, even it makes most profit, is that there is this huge drawdown over here, and you see the recent days the profit line starts to go down, starts to lose. So I will simply remove it from this button over here. Now you see this strategy as well is going down in the middle of the period, and then it's going just sideways, so I will remove it as well. Now I have 4 more strategies left. You see that the first strategy here as well has this drawn down, I will remove it. So these strategies look really nice, but I will choose these two because the third one recently as well is losing. Okay, so I have these two strategies now left into the collection. So I will do the very same thing with the other currencies because I want to trade totally 12 strategies. I will choose two strategies for each currency. So you see from 70,000 strategies, top 100 were selected, then I added more filters and I have left with the two strategies that passed all the validations and they are having good profit factor and no more than 5 consecutive losses. So when I go to this button over here that says Expert Advisor for MT4 and this one that says Expert Advisor for MT5, with one click I can export these strategies as expert advisors. This is the very nice thing of EA Studio, that with one click it exports the strategy as expert advisor. If I click on it, you can see what are the entry conditions, you can see what is the exit conditions, the profit, the indicators chart. You can zoom it if you want to see where exactly the trades happened. Here is the balance chart, and here in the beginning actually there is some more statistics about the strategy: profit per day, count of trades totally, win-loss ratio, Sharper ratio, and so on. If I go to journal, I just want to show you that we are within the trading hour. So you see the first trade, for example, opened at 8:45 and it closed at 1:30 p.m. right? Then the next trade was open at 9:30 in the morning and it was closed 1:45. So you see that all the trades are within the London trading session. This is what we were looking for. And let's now switch to the Euro Pound collection. You can see the strategies are over here with pretty nice profit lines actually. And only 14 strategies passed the validation and the Monte Carlo. This is very nice because from more than 100,000 strategies, only 14 are in our collection, so it will be easier for me to filter these strategies. And one more thing I wanted to show you in Monte Carlo. So if I click on the strategy and I go again to Monte Carlo, you will see here on the strategy variations, the last one is the randomized indicator parameter. So if I remove all of the previous ones and I select randomized indicator parameters and I click on start, the simulator here will try to break the strategy with different indicator parameters. So simply it will make simulations with different parameters for each of the indicators. This is a very good indication if these strategies were over optimized. So you see I have some of the variations here going sideways, some of the simulations, but I don't have any losing strategy that is going down. So this normally happens with the over optimized strategies. When you run this simulation, you will see here just a dramatic drop. So it means that the chosen parameters for the indicators were chosen in a best way in order to show a good profit line, right? But this is not what we are looking for. We are looking for the robust strategies. Now let's go back to the collection, and here are the filters. So I will need to select only 2 out of the 14. I will start again with the profit factor because it filters the strategies very well. Let's just increase it a little bit. So with 1.4 I have 10 out of the 14. Let's increase it one more time and I will have just 5 left. 5 strategies are into the collection. I will add just one more filter. Let's choose something else. So for example, I can choose maximum stagnation. And see exactly if I choose the maximum stagnation of 30%, it will filter out the other strategies. I just saw that they have a little bit more of stagnation. That's why I wanted to use the stagnation. So the stagnation, guys, is this period, for example here, where the profit reached a top and then it just goes down and then up. So the whole period where the strategy is not making more profit than it reached at the current moment, it's called stagnation. And you see with these two filters exactly, I have the two strategies. I will just export them, and you see that by one click again I export them as expert advisors. Now you see that I even don't look into each strategies. I don't click on each parameter to look at the details about the parameters, because really guys, it's not necessary to do it. We have tested this strategy builder EA Studio a long time, and we saw that we don't need to touch anything inside the strategy. The stop loss is here, the take profit is here, the parameters are set exactly to show this profit line, and you will see later on in the course I will show you that when we backtest it on MetaTrader 4 we will see the very same results, which is the most important. And since the strategy went through the Monte Carlo and it passed the validation of the acceptance criteria, we are alright. Now this is for the London market. I have the 4 strategies now downloaded, and I will continue in the next lecture with the New York market. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.